as a consumer, it's an inconvenience for me to be a half hour late to go see my mother. For a driver, suddenly finding yourself in a traffic jam that then leads you to being stuck in Toronto or Chicago rush hour, that means I'm 2 or 3 hours late, means I'm docked pay, it means I miss my next pickup, it means a factory might close. It's disastrous. So they need a mapping solution that is actually going to prevent them from having those kind of problems.
So that's where the Maps division's focus is. You touched on all the points that are important to the driver, and then highlight how we are bringing that power into the hands of the driver to help them with important, intelligent decisions made for them, giving them the choice. Our mapping network, we talk about digital twin as the map network. What is the physical map on the ground versus what is happening in Google or in the Trimble Maps ecosystem? Trimble has been doing that with its field systems and geospatial technology for a while. But when we talk about a digital twin, it is tracking not just the map network, but everything else that happens around it, creating that exact move. The driver is going from New York to Chicago or in transit, which takes them through Chicago. We have the full details of the route, which is generated by our PC miler routing algorithms, which takes into consideration the dimensions of the vehicle, the load that they're hauling. What ended up happening, for example, just digressing for a second, how critical mapping technology is when the Key Bridge went down in Baltimore. Very unfortunate incident.
Yep.
We have customers who were positioned where their warehouses were on the north side of the bridge, and their customers were on the other side. They would haul the freight, and it was hazmat freight, straight over the bridge. That is the only bridge allowed in Baltimore to go down. The length of haul that increased for them, the mapping data available to say, this is the extra cost that you're going to incur now. And not just the cost, from a time perspective, you touched on driver's time. That is important. So that's all the effort we put into the mapping data to create safety passage based on the load, to provide a safe environment using our navigation tool to the driver so that we guide them.
Yep.
We have the capabilities around what you highlighted for traffic. Some of the things that we just introduced in Copilot last year and what was announced at our conference is weather events for traffic and traffic events as well. The weather events are super important. You and I both know you're from Detroit.
We have weather.
Half an inch of snow doesn't matter. We would get out driving our cars. But the same weather event of half an inch in Atlanta creates havoc in Georgia. All the freight movement through the Atlanta corridor shuts down. So we incorporate that, we bring that, we add that to our mapping data. We add that to our solutions which use the mapping data. That's when we talk about the transformative power of mapping.